Hey there, friends. Today we're doing lesson 99 in the UFLI Foundation series, where we'll be talking about the suffixes s and es. First, let's learn what a morpheme is. A morpheme is a word part that changes a word's meaning. A suffix is a particular kind of morpheme. A suffix is a morpheme that is added to the end of a word. So, all suffixes are morphemes, but not all morphemes are suffixes. Today we're looking at two suffixes in particular, the suffix s and the suffix es. The suffixes s and es change nouns from singular to plural. They also affect verbs as well, but we'll get there in a minute. First, let's look at this example. Here we have a cat. A cat is a noun. When we have one singular cat, we do not have the suffix s. However, when we have multiple cats, we add the suffix s to show that there is more than one. We use the terms singular and plural to indicate whether there is one cat, singular, or plural, cats, meaning that there is more than one. A noun is a person, animal, place, or thing, such as dogs, shirts, or boxes. We can take them as singular nouns, dog, shirt, box, or as plural nouns, dogs, shirts, and boxes. A verb, on the other hand, is an action word. A verb describes an action or something that is happening. Some examples of verbs are run, sing, or bite. Let's take a look at these sentences. I run, you run, we run, they run. In all of these sentences, the verb is run. And all of these sentences are happening in the present tense, meaning they're happening right now. We run. However, there are some instances where we use the suffix s to indicate that a verb is happening in the present tense. When a subject is he, she, or it, we add the suffix s to the verb to indicate that it's happening in the present tense. We wouldn't say he run, but we would say he runs. The same applies to she and it. We wouldn't say she run, we would say she runs. And just the same, we wouldn't say it run, we would say it runs. So when we add the suffix s to a verb, we're indicating that it's happening in the present tense when we're using he, she, or it. The suffix es functions in the same way as the suffix s, in that it makes nouns plural and indicates present tense for verbs. But the suffix es is used when a word ends in ch, sh, sx, or z. For example, the word wishes. In the word wishes, the base word is wish. The base word wish ends in sh. That means we can't just add an s suffix, we need to have a vowel. So we need to have the es suffix. When we pluralize wishes, a singular wish versus multiple wishes, we can hear that the syllables change as well. Wish is a one-syllable word, while wishes is a two-syllable word. Because each syllable needs a vowel, we need to have the E in there before the S to help make it its own syllable. This also happens in the word fixes. Fix is a verb. I fix, you fix. But we wouldn't say he fix, we would say he fixes. The base word is fix, and the suffix is es. Just like in wishes, fixes has the es suffix because it ends in an x. We need to have that extra letter in there, that extra vowel, because we're adding a syllable. Fix is a one-syllable word, while fixes is a two-syllable word. This is different than, say, cat and cats. Cat, which is singular, is a one-syllable word, and cats, which is plural, is also a one-syllable word. Because we haven't added any syllables, we don't need to add an extra vowel. This is different than fix and fixes. Fix is a one-syllable word, but fixes is a two-syllable word. So if you're hearing that second syllable, it means we're using the es suffix instead of s. We can also see this in the word passes. The base word here is pass. It ends in an s, and the suffix is es. Just like before, it is a two-syllable word, pass being one syllable and passes being two. So we need to have the extra e in there to give us a vowel in that syllable. It also ends in an s, which means that it needs to have the es ending. So, when you're trying to pluralize or make present tense a verb, a word that ends in ch, sh, sx, or z, we use the es suffix instead of the s. In all other instances, you use the s suffix just as it is. And when you're writing, you can figure out which one you need by listening to the syllables. If the base word and the pluralized version have the same number of syllables, that means you're using an s. If the base word and the pluralized version have a different number of syllables, you're probably using the es. Let's take a look at some examples. This is the word classes. The base word here is class. The suffix is es. The word class ends in an s, and as we just learned, words that end in an s need the es suffix. We also hear it in the word itself. Class is a one-syllable word, while classes is a two-syllable word. Because we have that extra syllable, we need to have that extra vowel. That's different than this word, grows. The base word here is grow, and the suffix is s. Grow and grows are both one-syllable words. That means that we're not adding an extra vowel. We can just add the s to make it plural or present tense. He grows. Let's look at some together. I'll pop the word on the screen and you try to read it before I do. Parts. Very good. So the base word here is part and the suffix is s. Part and parts are both one-syllable word. One-syllable words, meaning we can just use the suffix s. Dresses. Well done. The base word here is dress. Because dress ends in an s, we need to use the suffix es instead of just a plain s. We can also hear it in the syllables. Dress is a one-syllable word, while dresses is a two-syllable word. Brushes. Very good. The base word is brush. The suffix is es. Brush ends in an sh. If you remember, that means we need to use the es suffix instead of the s. We had one brush, one syllable. Now we have multiple brushes, two syllables. An extra syllable means an extra vowel. Spends. Well done. The base word is spend and the suffix is s. Because this is a one-syllable word, in both its base word and its pluralized form, we just need the s ending. Shows. Well done. The base word here is show and the suffix is s. I attended one show, then I attended multiple shows. Show is also one of those words that can be a noun or a verb. I might say that I show, but if I was talking about somebody else, I might say that he shows. The s suffix can indicate present tense for a verb or plural for a noun. Screams. Well done. The base word here is scream. The suffix is s. Scream and screams are both one-syllable words, meaning that since we didn't add a syllable, we also don't need to add an extra vowel. We can use the regular s suffix instead of the es. Matches. Very good. The base word here is match, and the suffix is es. Because match ends in a ch, that means we need to use the es suffix instead of the s suffix. We can also hear it in the syllables. Match is a one-syllable word. Matches is a two-syllable word. An extra syllable means an extra vowel. Passes. Well done. The base word is pass, and the suffix is es. Just like in the word match, we have an extra syllable added, pass, passes, so we need the extra vowel in the es suffix. Pass also ends in an s, so if you remember that in words that end in s need an es ending, that will apply as well. Rushes. Very good. The base word is rush, and the suffix is es. Words that end in an sh, such as rush, need the es suffix instead of the s suffix. We can hear it in the syllables as well. Rush, rushes, an extra syllable needs an extra vowel. Let's do a bit of writing. Let's write 3 words with an s suffix and 3 words with an es suffix. Let's start with a base word. Cat. K, at, cat. If I were to write it down, k, cat, cat, it would look like that. But what if I wanted to make it plural? I had one cat, now I have multiple cats. Well, the word does not end in a CH, SH, SX, or Z. And if I listen, cat and cats are both one syllable words, meaning that I'm not adding an extra syllable, so I'm not adding an extra letter. I can pluralize cats by using just the suffix s. Now let's try the word crib. K-r-i-b. Crib. If I were to write it, it would look like this. K-r-i-b. Crib. If I wanted to make it plural, more than one crib, it would sound like cribs. Since I didn't add an extra syllable and the word doesn't end in a CH, SH, SX, or Z, I can use the suffix s, just like I did in the word cats. Crib is a one-syllable word. Cribs is a one-syllable word. Now let's try it with the word run. Run. If I were to write it, it would look like this. Run. The base word is run, and I want to add a suffix to make it runs. He runs. Since runs is the same number of syllables as run, I can just use the suffix s. The word does not end in an CH, SH, SX, or Z, and we are not adding an extra syllable, so we do not need to add an extra letter. We can pluralize run with the suffix s. Now let's look at some examples where we would use the es ending. Remember, these are words that end in CH, SH, SX, or Z. And they're words that when we listen have an extra syllable added to pluralize. Let's start with the word box. If I were to write it, it would look like this. B-a-x, box. I had one box, now I have multiple boxes. Since the word box ends in an X, and I can hear that I'm adding an extra syllable, box, boxes, I know that I need to use the es suffix instead of the s suffix. Let's try another one. Let's try it with the word pass. P-a-s, pass. If we remember, words that end in an s get doubled. So we have two s's at the end of the word pass. But what if I wanted to make this passes? She passes. Would I add an s or an es? Well done, I would add an es. The word pass ends in an s, which follows the rule, and I can hear an extra syllable in passes, meaning that I need to add an es ending in order to make it plural. Let's try one more. Let's take a look at this word. What word did I write? Well done, I wrote the word mass. M-a-s, mass. But I want to turn it into the word masses. What should I add, an s or an es? Well done, I need to add an es. The word mass ends in the letter s, and we add an extra syllable when we pluralize it. Mass, masses. An extra syllable means an extra letter, meaning we're using the es suffix instead of the s suffix. Well done today. We learned about the suffix s and the suffix es. We learned that the suffix s is applied to words that end in any other letter that's not ch, sh, sx, or z, and don't add an extra syllable. Then we learned that the suffix es is applied to words that do end in ch, sh, sx, or z, and have an extra syllable added when they are pluralized.